So I'm just going to take you through a series of questions in Spanish, Ricky. And this is just going to help us start with the right level today, okay?
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you these questions because it is a test. Technically, I need a full, complete sentence, always using the verb to respond, okay? All right. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Okay, so the complete answer would be I am well, right? So using the I am in the answer. Do you know how to say I am well?
No.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you understood me. Let's try the next one. ¿Cómo te llamas?
I am Ricky.
Okay, so yeah, I think we should start with the first lesson. This is completely normal if you've ever been around Spanish or if you've studied Spanish at some point in the past. You know, you develop your comprehension first. So you're understanding me, but because you can't give me those complete sentences, it'll be best to start from the very beginning. So let me pull up my my presentation here. Bear with me for just 2 seconds.
I think I should have said, mi nombre Ricardo.
That's yeah, that's better. Yeah. All right, don't worry, I'm gonna teach you how to do it really good today, okay?
All right.
Let's see here. Where? All right. Okay, this is it. Cool. So let me share the presentation with you here. All right. So you should be able to see the PowerPoint presentation I have, right?
Right.
All right, perfecto. Fundamentos de Español, Lección 1. So in this level, Ricky, it typically takes our students about 3 months to get through. And by the end of the 3 months, you should be able to have basic conversations at work, in your community, and if we ever get to start traveling again. We teach our students how to do a good job of introducing themselves, make small talk, order food in restaurants, and also how to go shopping. And a big focus of ours here is also teaching the cultural differences. In this very first lesson, we're going to teach you the greetings, some of the culture tip around greeting people, because in Latin America, just the simple action of saying hello to somebody is even a little bit different. I'm going to give you a little tip to make it easier and help you build your confidence with something that we call Cognates in Spanish. And then we'll also take a look at our pronunciation with the vowels, our numbers, and a little vocab you can use for work and school, okay? So I always invite my students to connect with me outside of class. You can email me, you can call me, text message me. And also I like to add friends on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. So I put a lot of stuff. Honestly, I only have Facebook to communicate with students and potential students and put information about Spanish and English up online. So feel free to add me there. Bien, ¿por qué estoy enseñando español? Why am I teaching Spanish? Yo soy de Estados Unidos. So I'm actually from here, from the United States. Pero viví en, that means I lived in, viví en España, Argentina, Chile, y Ecuador. So I've lived in 4 Spanish-speaking countries outside of the United States. And I've traveled to many, many Spanish-speaking countries. Viajé a means I traveled to. Viajé a Cuba, a la República Dominicana, a México, Colombia, Uruguay, Bolivia, y varios otros países también. ¿Y tú? So when I say y tú, I mean, what about you? ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from?
I'm from the United States.
Okay.
Estados
Unidos.
Yes, Estados Unidos.
So to make a complete sentence, you can say soy de.
Soy de.
Soy de los Estados Unidos.
Soy de los Estados Unidos.
Muy bien. ¿De cuál estado? Which state are you from?
North Carolina.
Soy de Carolina del Norte.
Carolina del Norte.
Muy bien. So I'm originally from Georgia, so we're neighbors.
Good.
All right. ¿Viajaste a un país hispanohablante? Have you traveled to a Spanish-speaking country before?
Panama.
Ah, fuiste a Panama. Qué interesante. That's really interesting. That is not a typical destination. Was it for work or?
Yes, military.
Okay. So are you currently in the army, or were you, I guess, or?
Yes, I just retired last month.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Mi experiencia profesional. Yo soy maestro de español desde el 2005 y soy el fundador de The Language School. So I've been teaching Spanish since 2005, and I opened up the language school in 2007 when I graduated from college with a degree in international business, Spanish, and marketing. ¿Y tú, bueno, a qué te dedicas? ¿Estás jubilado? So are you retired? No?
Sí.
Okay, so you can say, yo estoy jubilado.
Yo estoy
Jubilado.
jubilado.
Muy bien. Okay, nice. All right. Me gusta tocar la guitarra y los tambores, so I like to play the guitar and the drums. Me gusta viajar, ir al gimnasio, leer y ver películas. And something interesting, algo interesante, yo bailaba con un grupo de salsa profesional. So I used to dance with a professional salsa group.
Okay.
Yeah, me gusta. ¿Y a ti qué te gusta? So what do you like? And you can answer by saying me gusta, and I'll help you with anything you want to say.
Okay. Me gusta caballos. Caballos.
Caballos. Ah, qué interesante. Do you like to ride horses or watch races or?
Sí, ride.
Muy bien. Me gusta también. Hace mucho tiempo que no monto un caballo. It's been a long time since I've ridden a horse, but yeah, it's great. Nice.
I also like to viajar.
Viajar. Me gusta viajar. Muy
Me
bien.
gusta viajar.
Bien. Okay, that's
And
good.
gimnasio.
Me gusta ir al gimnasio. Gimnasio.
Gimnasio.
Nice. Okay. ¿Por qué estudiar español? Why study Spanish? So you've been to Panama. There's 20 more countries you can visit with Spanish. You know, a lot of my students here are learning Spanish because it's increasingly becoming a job requirement. Do you live in Denver? Where do you live?
I used to. I live in Colorado Springs now.
You're down in the Springs right now. Okay. Well, I don't know too much about the demographics of Colorado Springs. I'd imagine there's probably less Spanish speakers, but still a lot of Spanish speakers.
Yes.
You know, in Denver, it's like 30% of people speak Spanish. So it's 1 out of every 3 people. So it'll help you in your day-to-day activities. I'd imagine there's plenty of opportunities in Colorado Springs as well. When you're first starting out with something like learning a language, honestly, it's not that hard if you have a really good program like the one that we offer that you'll see today. But it does take a long time. You know, it's a time commitment. So you have to really have a good understanding of why you're doing it to make sure that you can keep motivating yourself for the long term. These were my reasons why I wanted to learn. I'm like you. I learned how to speak Spanish as an adult almost 20 years ago. You know, it wasn't easy. It was actually really hard for me to do it. So I had to constantly remind myself why I was doing it. And these were some of my reasons, kind of both personal reasons and professional reasons. I was living in an apartment building with almost 100% neighbors from Central America and Mexico. So I wanted to be able to, you know, do more than just this when I saw them walking through the halls. I love the way that Spanish looking women look. So I was hoping to get a little Spanish speaking girlfriend, you know, to help me practice. I wanted to travel all over Latin America and just experience things I always dreamed of doing. You know, I had a vision of getting a motorcycle and just driving south until I got to Argentina. And then kind of professionally at the time, I was starting to work in construction. And construction sites here in Colorado are more Spanish speaking than they are English speaking. You know, there might be like a general contractor or a foreman on the site that speaks English, but then a lot of the crews that come in, the carpenters, the drywallers, framers, the, you know, roofers, painters, will typically be Spanish speaking. So I wanted, like, at the time I had just started taking Spanish lessons at CU Boulder and instantly got a promotion to being a supervisor because I knew how to say hola, ¿cómo estás? And they thought that was like, here's somebody that can talk to these guys. So I recognized then, like, learning how to speak Spanish would be really powerful. At the same time, I did not want to work in construction forever. Working outside in these cold Colorado, windy, snowy winters, like, ugh. So I wanted to work in an office type environment, and I knew that being bilingual would help me get a better job. And then also just wanted to be flexible. You know, you never know what's going to happen. We're here in the United States today. I've lived in other countries. It's great. Other countries have a lot to offer. So I might, you know, I'm probably going to retire in Latin America somewhere. I don't see myself living in this country forever. ¿Y tú? What are kind of your primary reasons for wanting to learn how to speak Spanish, Ricky?
I can say 100% the same reasons you have.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, I mean, these are really common reasons that a lot of people identify. If it's not one, it's the other. Is there anything outside of this that you want to share with me?
No, like I said, you know, for me, my first duty station was in Panama, and I got to go to Panama and Honduras, and you know, that's one of the. I was actually like you. I'm thinking about moving to Panama once in the next couple of years.
Okay.
So,
Wow. I've
yeah.
heard really amazing things about Panama. I've never been there, but I hear that they really did a lot to kind of encourage an international business community. It's pretty safe, like, relatively speaking, in terms of Latin America. It uses the US dollar there, right? Like,
Yes, they do.
yeah, so cool. So you must have liked it if you're thinking about moving there.
I really love Panama. I
Nice.
really did.
Cool, man. Well, you know, I don't know. I've talked to people from Panama. They seem to have a fairly neutral accent there. Spanish, like just like thinking you're from North Carolina originally, so you know how accents can change from Colorado to the southeast of the country. It changed the Spanish language, the pronunciation and certain vocabulary words and certain instances, like certain verb conjugations, like they use things in Spain that people don't use in Latin America. So it changes a little bit from one country to another. We've really tried to create a very holistic approach to Spanish, so we don't concentrate on one particular accent or dialect. We try and you know, we'll teach you a little bit of Mexican slang, a little bit of Argentine slang, is some stuff that you can use if you go to Spain, you know, so we try and create an open program for that. And that's a lot based on my experience, where I was living in Argentina for almost a year and then just crossed the border to go over to Chile. And I was like, I don't understand what anybody's saying, but it's Spanish, but it's like it's a different Spanish. So I really wanted to create something that would help my students make that transition a little bit easier. Okay. Before we get started with the lesson, I really want you to know it's okay to make mistakes. You know, just talk. If you make a mistake, so what? It'll actually help me as your teacher know how to help you. This is a school of respect, so we don't make fun of anybody here. If you join one of our group classes, you know, everybody's in it for the same reason. And if you have questions, you know, your classmates will have the exact same questions as you. So I want to encourage you to talk, ask whatever questions you have, take advantage today of this private one-on-one lesson. And then we can kind of go from there. All right, so we're just gonna take a quick little video, watch a quick little video here. I think I need to change up the view. So give me 1 second. Google Chrome, okay. So you should be able to now see this website, right?
In the first lesson of
That's
Okay.
it.
Perfect. I'm going to let it play.
Spanish here at the language school, we teach our students how to make a proper introduction in Spanish. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to have the following conversation and introduce yourself in Spanish.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, estoy bien.
Me llamo Shakira. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Mark.
¿Cómo se deletrea tu nombre?
M-A-R-C.
Mucho gusto.
Igualmente,
¿De dónde eres?
soy de Puerto Rico.
¿Dónde vives?
Vivo en Florida.
¿Dónde trabajas?
Trabajo en Nueva York.
¿Qué te gusta?
Me gusta cantar.
¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
01234567789.
Bien, estamos en contacto.
Me parece bien.
Hasta luego.
Nos vemos.
Okay. So could you understand most of that probably?
Some of it, yes.
Some of it? Nice, nice. Well, I'm going to definitely elaborate on that for you today so you can understand all of it. And by the end of the day, by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to have that conversation in Spanish, okay? All
Okay.
right. So first off, you know the greetings. Hola. Hola, Ricky.
Hola, David.
And then I would say, ¿Cómo estás? And so this was the one on the evaluation. So to say, I am good, you want to say, estoy. Estoy bien.
Estoy bien.
Muy bien. Okay. So in informal situations, when you're greeting somebody, the culture actually has a really large impact on how you should do it. You know, here in the United States, if we see a friend or a family member, we normally just hug them. And in business situations or meeting people for the first time, we shake their hands. In Latin America, in the more informal situations, it's common to darle un besito, like give a little kiss on the cheek, like in the picture here. And this can change from one country to another too. Some countries do like 2 kisses, some are like 3 or 4, some don't kiss. So it's a good idea to study. I don't know what it's like in Panama. Do you remember like interacting with locals? And
in Panama, they just shake hands.
They just shake hands, yeah. I've seen. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Central America other than like the students that come in here. But I've noticed that they've told me that it's a little bit more like it is here for some reason.
Yeah. Well, when we had the occupation over there, that's when, you know, they really got Americanized. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense then. So. Well, let's see here. Let's go with our vowels. So Spanish is phonetic, which means these vowels are pretty much always pronounced the same way. To put that in perspective for you, the letter A can produce like approximately 10 unique sounds in the English language. In Spanish, it's just one sound. So it's actually really easy to learn how to speak Spanish because of this, if you can just master these sounds. So repeat after me. Repite. A.
A.
E.
E.
I.
I.
O.
O.
U. Repite. U.
U.
There you go. Good. A, E, I, O, U. Vamos a practicar. Okay, let's practice. Repite. A.
A.
Nada.
Nada.
Mapa.
Mapa.
Hasta.
Hasta.
Papa.
Papa.
Papá.
Papa.
Mamá.
Mama.
All right, cool. Really good with that. Just so you know, like these accent marks are kind of confusing. All that means is you have to shift the pronunciation. Naturally, the word will be emphasized on the second to last syllable unless we see one of those accent marks. And that just tells us we need to shift the emphasis. So like the difference between papa and papa is really important because papa means potato and papa means dad. So you don't want to call your dad a potato.
Right.
All right, let's keep going. Repite. E.
E.
Me.
Me.
Es.
Es.
Bebe.
Bebe.
Este. Tele.
tele,
Leche.
leche,
Y.
y,
Fin.
fin,
Civil.
civil,
Tímido.
tímido,
Italiano.
italiano,
Biblia.
Biblia,
Difícil.
difícil,
Muy bien. O.
o,
Loco.
loco,
Poco.
poco,
Como.
como,
Ocho.
8,
Coco.
coco,
Todo.
todo,
Muy bien. U. Tú.
tú,
Club.
club,
Anuncio.
anuncio,
Mucho.
mucho,
Música.
música,
Cultura.
cultura.
Okay, muy bien. Nice job. So that's Spanish pronunciation. 5 sounds, pretty simple. I'm going to teach you how to properly introduce yourself to someone. So if I were, to come up to you and I wanted to know who you were, I would say, "Hola, me llamo David." Okay, so repeat after me. "Hola, me llamo Ricky."
Hola, me llamo Ricky.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Muy bien. So that was the question that you understood what I was saying, but you didn't know how to answer it earlier, right? So
Right.
you answer by saying, "Me llamo,"
Me llamo
and then you follow with your name, okay?
Ricky. Mm-hmm.
Next, say it's nice to meet you. You say, "Mucho gusto."
Mucho gusto.
And you can respond to that by saying, "Igualmente."
Igualmente.
That's like saying likewise, right?
Mhm.
Igualmente. Okay, muy bien. Vamos a practicar. Hola, me llamo David. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Ricky.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Y
Igualmente.
igualmente.
That's what you want to respond, right? Good. All right, now flip it. Say it to me.
Hola, me llamo Ricky.
So don't put an S on that llamo. It's just llamo. Me
Okay.
llamo Ricky.
Me llamo Ricky. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo David.
Mucho gusto.
Igualmente. Okay, these are some of the most common questions that you'll get asked when you first meet somebody. So let's practice, okay?
Okay.
Repite, ¿de dónde eres?
¿Dónde eres?
Soy de Atlanta. So you would say, soy de Carolina del Norte.
Okay. Soy de Carolina Norte.
Right, so this is just saying, where are you from? I am from. Next one, where do you live? ¿Dónde vives?
¿Dónde vives?
And then you answer, vivo en Denver.
Vivo en Denver,
Well, you would say Colorado.
Colorado
Right?
Springs.
All right, and then last one, ¿dónde trabajas? Where do you work? And then, so repeat, ¿dónde trabajas?
¿Dónde trabajas?
In your situation, I'm gonna flip the script on you here because you're gonna say, estoy jubilado.
Estoy jubilado.
Yeah, I would answer trabajo en Denver, but since you're retired, you're gonna change it a little bit to say, estoy jubilado. Okay, vamos a practicar. Ricky, ¿de dónde eres?
Soy de Carolina del Norte.
¿Dónde vives?
Donde vivo en Colorado Springs.
¿Dónde trabajas?
Oh.
All right, you remember what to say? Estoy
Estoy
jubilado.
jubilado. Okay.
I'm gonna put that phrase for you in the chat here so you can remember that one. Estoy jubilado.
Estoy jubilado.
All right. So that'll be there for you in the chat. All right.
Okay.
Okay, now ask me the question. So you get practice that way too, going back and forth.
¿Dónde eres?
So make sure to say they first. De
No.
dónde eres.
¿De dónde eres?
Yo soy de Atlanta.
¿Dónde vivas?
Yo vivo en Denver.
¿Dónde trabajas?
trabajas?
Trabajas.
Trabajo in Denver. Okay. This is like on my introduction, right? ¿Qué te gusta? Me gusta. What do you like? And I like. To start conversations with people in Spanish, it's really simple. The best thing you can talk about is what people like, okay? So I've just given you some examples here. Comida means food, so it's always good to talk about everybody likes food, right? So you say, me gusta la comida china, me gusta la comida italiana. A lot of these are pretty straightforward, so I don't think I have to explain to you that's Chinese food and Italian food, right?
Right.
Mexican food, Cuban food. Next we have our bebidas. Muy importante, drinks, right? So we've got la cerveza, I bet you know what that one means.
Yes.
El vino is wine. El tequila, of course, is tequila. And el mojito. Do they drink mojitos in Panama?
Sometimes, some places, it depends on where you go.
So you know it's like a rum drink with mint and sugar. Yeah, it's one of my favorite drinks. Okay, deportes means sports. So you could say, me gusta el fútbol. Muy importante. Football means soccer, right? If you want to talk about like the Denver Broncos, you want to say el fútbol americano, okay? El baloncesto would be basketball, and then el baseball is practically the same. Baseball is popular in Panama, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like, it's funny, you know, in most Spanish-speaking countries, football, soccer is going to be by far the most popular sport. But in the Caribbean, for whatever reason, the Caribbean, Panama, and Venezuela, it's baseball. So next we have actividades. So these are just our activities. These are verbs. Estudiar, that means to study. So you could say like, me gusta estudiar español. Cocinar is to cook. Bailar is to dance. And esquiar is to ski. Okay? Vamos a practicar. Ricky, ¿qué te gusta?
Me gusta. I can't see those. Here we go. Me gusta la comida mexicano.
Muy bien.
La comida china. La comida italiana. La comida mexicana. La comida cubana.
Oh, you love all the food, right? What's the food like in Panama? I have no idea.
Oh, it's really a mix of Spanish and Jamaican food.
Oh, I bet it's good.
Oh, it is. It is.
Jamaican food. I love Jamaican food. That's one thing I miss in Atlanta. There's this awesome Jamaican restaurant, but I don't know where to get Jamaican food here in Colorado.
Well, they got this one place in Colorado Springs that I like throughout the whole state.
For Jamaican food?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to have to take a trip because I love Jamaican food. I went to Jamaica a few years ago, and like my favorite part of the trip was just the food. It's so good.
I know.
Okay. So ask me now. Pregúntame, ¿qué te gusta?
¿Qué te gusta?
Me gusta la comida cubana, me gusta el fútbol y me gusta cocinar. Y me gusta bailar mucho también. Muy bien. Okay, we can modify this question a little bit by just adding the word hacer, which means to do. Okay? Hacer. ¿Qué te gusta hacer? Here you have to answer with an activity because we're asking what do you like to do. So you have to say, I like to run or I like to cook, something like that, okay? Mm-hmm. And then just over the right, we've got some more little sentence fragments so you can add some more detail. So I could say something like, me gusta correr en el parque. I like to run in the park. Or I could say, me gusta cocinar la comida italiana. I like to cook Italian food. Or me gusta leer misterio. Okay. Ricky, ¿qué te gusta hacer?
Me gusta cocinar.
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 Uh-huh. Muy bien.
I don't know how to say Southern food. So.
Me gusta, pues aquí you could say, me gusta cocinar la comida estadounidense y sureña o del sur. Muy bien, yeah, that's the real American food in my opinion. Everybody thinks it's hot dogs and hamburgers. You got to go to the South to get real food.
Yes.
Muy bien, Ricky. All right, some really important questions I like to teach on the first day is, ¿puedo hacer una pregunta? Repite, ¿puedo hacer una pregunta?
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
All right, so this means, can I ask a question? Okay, I told you at the beginning, questions are good. It's always good to be polite by starting asking permission. ¿Puedo hacer una pregunta? All right, muy bien. Now we have the question, ¿cómo se dice student? This just means, how do you say student? Repite, ¿cómo se dice student?
¿Cómo se dice student?
Muy bien. Vamos a practicar. So ask me the question in the green, ¿puedo hacer una pregunta? I'm going to say sí, and then you start asking me these questions down the list, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Hacer.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Muy bien, sí.
¿Cómo se dice computer?
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice computer?
Se dice computadora.
¿Cómo se dice office?
Se dice oficina.
¿Cómo se dice paper?
Se dice papel.
¿Cómo se dice employee?
Se dice empleado.
¿Cómo se dice director?
Director.
¿Cómo se dice student?
Estudiante.
¿Cómo se dice conference room?
Salón de conferencia.
¿Cómo se dice classroom?
Salón de clase. Muy bien, Ricky. The last question I'm going to teach you is ¿qué significa? This means, what does the word mean? Okay? So if I were to say ¿qué significa estudiante? I'm literally asking you, what does estudiante mean? So this is the reverse of how do you say, it's what does it mean? Okay? So let's practice again with this. So you'll start off again. You'll say, ¿puedo hacer una pregunta?
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Sí.
¿Qué significa?
So you want to say ¿qué significa? And then number one, computadora.
¿Qué significa computadora?
Computadora.
Computadora.
Significa computer. Okay.
¿Qué significa oficina?
Oficina significa office.
¿Qué significa papel?
Papel significa paper.
¿Qué significa empleado?
Empleado. Empleado significa employee. Remember those vowels. You always pronounce them. A-O. Empleado.
Okay, empleado. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
¿Qué significa director?
Director significa director. Es lo mismo. Go ahead. Next one, number 7. Uh-oh, Ricky, did I lose you? Hey, Ricky, sorry, it just froze up.
Oh, no problem. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. Okay, so I asked the next one.
Okay. ¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Sí.
¿Qué significa estudiante?
Estudiante significa student.
¿Qué significa salón de conferencia?
Salón de conferencia significa conference room.
Significa salón de clase.
Salón de clase significa classroom. Muy bien, Ricky. Nice job with that, my friend. So just a little recap. ¿Puedo hacer una pregunta? What does that mean?
It means, oh, I forgot. What does that mean?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Puedo hacer una pregunta. What about cómo se dice student?
I forget. How
Do you say student? Yeah, how do you say student? And then the last one, ¿qué significa estudiante means? What does estudiante mean? Okay?
Okay.
Muy bien. These questions are really powerful. They can help you get through situations where you don't understand very well what people are talking about or what's going on. So learn those really, really well, and it will serve you very, very well. All right, so we're going to move on along here to a little conversation tip that I have you. So Cognados are words that exist in two languages or more that were born from another language that they share in common, okay? They typically sound and look very, very similar. So the word bank actually comes from an Italian word, banca, that comes from back when they did commerce in Rome and, you know, went all over Europe. And when this system of commerce arrived to Spain, they slightly changed the word from banca to banco. Went from Spain to France, where it changed from banco to bank, and then went from France to England, where it changed to bank because of the way that people pronounce these words. So this is your first day of Spanish lessons. Supposedly you don't speak any Spanish at all, but I'm going to show you that you actually speak and understand a lot of Spanish already. So repite, actor.
Repite, actor.
Okay, so ¿qué significa actor? What does that mean?
That means actor.
Yeah, it's the exact same word, right?
Yeah.
¿Qué significa chocolate?
Chocolate.
¿Qué significa director?
Director.
¿Qué significa final?
Finished, over, final.
Final, yeah. ¿Qué significa hotel?
A hotel, somewhere to sleep or stay.
¿Qué significa mango?
Fruit, something to eat.
Yeah, mango, it's the same. ¿Qué significa normal?
Normal is just normal.
¿Qué significa pasta?
Pasta is something to.
Yeah. ¿Qué significa simple?
Something simple.
Simple, yeah. There you go. So what the reason is that Spanish and English share a common language, which is Latin. So English was very heavily influenced by Latin way back in the day, and Spanish was just essentially a slightly grammatically incorrect form of Latin, like it was born directly from Latin. So where we have that overlap between English and Spanish and Latin, that's where it's going to be like these words you just know right off the bat. Okay, you can if you're seeing or listening, hearing a word that sounds like a word that you recognize, there's a very good chance that that is the word that they're saying. Okay, let's take a look at our numbers. Repite, cero.
Zero.
Uno.
Uno.
Dos.
Dos.
Tres.
Tres.
Cuatro.
Cuatro.
Cinco.
Cinco.
Seis.
Seis.
Siete.
Siete.
Ocho.
Ocho.
Nueve.
Nueve.
Diez.
Diez.
Muy bien. I'm just going to go back here because one of these is not showing up. I don't know why that's not showing up the right way. There we go. Okay. Okay. ¿De quién es el número? So I'm going to say a number, and you're going to tell me whose number it is. Okay? ¿De quién es el número? 303 503 976-0065.
Dominoes.
Muy bien. 911.
Emergency.
303-218-6242.
Walmart.
720-251-6652.
The language school.
You already knew your numbers pretty well, I think, right?
Yeah.
When you travel, like if you lived in Panama, you have to learn numbers. That's one of the first things.
Yeah.
¿Cuánto cuesta un papel?
Centivo.
Un centavo. Un centavo.
Un centavo.
¿Cuánto cuesta un bolígrafo?
$1. $1.
$1. ¿Cuánto cuesta un lápiz?
5 centavos.
Centavos. ¿Cuánto cuesta un marcador?
$2.
¿Cuánto cuesta un paquete de papel?
$5.
¿Cuánto cuesta un paquete de lápices?
$6.
$6.
$6.
You said it in English, 6. That's good. That means you're relaxing a little bit. So that's actually kind of a good thing. All right. ¿Cuánto cuesta un paquete de bolígrafos?
$7.
¿Cuánto cuesta un paquete de marcadores?
$8.
¿Cuánto cuesta un libro de español?
$9.
¿Cuánto cuesta una pizarra?
$10.
All right. We're going to wrap things up with a little vocabulary here. Español para la escuela y trabajo. So a lot of our students are here because they're learning Spanish for work. So we teach Spanish that can kill two birds with one stone. A lot of these words you can use at both work and school. For you, it'll just be school for the time being. So we'll start off with cosas. Cosas means things, okay? Cosas.
Cosas.
Repite, computadora.
Computadora.
Impresora.
Impresora.
Televisión.
Televisión.
Proyector.
Proyector.
Marcador.
Marcador.
Papel.
Papel.
All right, next we have lugares, which are things, lugares.
Lugares.
All right. Salón de conferencia.
Salón de conferencia.
Salón de clase.
Salón de clase.
Okay. Oficina.
Oficina.
Escuela.
Escuela.
All right, finally, personas means people. Personas.
Personas.
Profesora.
Profesora.
Estudiante.
Estudiante.
Director.
Director.
Empleado.
Empleado.
Muy bien. All right, so we're going to wrap things up. This is the conversation we saw in the video, and this is the conversation we're going to have now, okay?
Okay.
Hola, me llamo David. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Ricky.
¿Cómo estás?
Estoy bien.
Mucho gusto.
Aguilamante.
¿De dónde eres?
Soy de Colorado Springs.
¿Dónde vives?
Vivo en Colorado Springs.
¿Dónde trabajas?
Trabajo in, I forget that whole word. I'll just say military.
Yeah, okay, you can say soy militar, or this is the one where I taught you how to say I'm retired. Estoy jubilado.
Yes, estoy jubilado.
¿Qué te gusta?
Me gusta, how did you say cook again?
Me gusta cocinar.
Me gusta cocinar.
Muy bien. ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
is what is my number?
It's tricky when you go into Spanish. You forget the pattern that you normally say it with.
Yes, 3, 4, 6. Hold up. No. 6, 0, 9, 3, 4, 6, 3, 9, 1, 9.
Muy bien, Ricky. At the end of a conversation, you can say estamos en contacto, which is like saying let's stay in touch. Repite, estamos en contacto.
Estamos en contacto.
And you can respond to that by saying me parece bien.
Me parece bien.
That's like saying, yeah, sounds good. Okay. Finally, you say hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
And nos vemos.
Nos vemos.
Okay, nice job with that, Ricky. How did it go? You did great today, Ricky. Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you enjoy the class? Did it feel comfortable? And
it really did.
Yeah?
It really did.
Yeah. We've really tried our best to create a conversational program just based on my own experiences of studying Spanish over and over and over again and not learning how to speak it. There's a better way to do it. And this is it. This is it. By everything that we do, you're not just learning it, you're actually speaking it. We do these back and forth things. So it's a really powerful way to learn language. So to create kind of a study plan, what's your timeline for learning Spanish, and then what's your availability? Like we've got different options. So it helps me to understand like how fast do you want to learn? Like the more you study, the faster you're going to learn. Kind of the more you spend, the more you're going to learn. So what's kind of your, I guess, goal and timeline for learning how to speak Spanish? And your availability too, because you can say, I want to study every day, but if you don't have any free time, then that's not going to work. So realistically, what do you think you could spend studying Spanish every week?
Well, I am available every day because I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
And I guess the mornings for now.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let me bring you over here to our pricing. Do you have a preference of like group classes versus private lessons?
I think I may be faster with the group instead of.
So the private lessons are probably going to be faster. It has more like, so the biggest difference is going to be the price. Private lessons are a little bit more expensive, but they are, more valuable. They get you direct one-on-one attention with a teacher. You get to go at your pace 100%. We schedule them around your schedule. The group classes are going to be a little bit more affordable.
Okay.
You're going to be with a couple of other students. So you would join just like this, and you see how you can see my face in the camera. There will be like 4 more boxes, and we just kind of go around from one student to the other asking these same questions, right? So like normally you do a lesson. So you see how we did this lesson in about an hour today. If we're in a group class, it would take about an hour and a half. So it is actually slower with the group classes. So we've got, group classes, we've got private lessons, and we also have intensive classes. So like if you wanted to go every single day with us, we could do that too.
Okay. I think the first group class was okay for the 300.
Okay, so the regular group classes just meet once a week for an hour and a half. You also get access, right now we're doing 2 practices every week. So we've got like a homework session on Wednesday that we do. And then on Friday morning, we just have an open conversation. I'm looking at the way to possibly add maybe some other evening practices as well at some point. But you get those 2 practices, so you actually can come 3 times a week. And yeah, it starts at $300 a month if you just want to pay monthly. We give discounts if you pay for more time up front. So the 3-month plan gets you a 30% discount at $600 for 3 months. The 6-month plan is $900. That's a straight 50% discount down the middle. And the most popular plan is to pay for a whole year up front. It's $1,200, and that gets you a whole year of studies with us.
Okay.
Any preference there?
I would like to. I think the 3 months would be good.
3 months for $600? Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and sign up that for right now? Are you ready to get started?
I'm not, because I don't have the money right now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. When do you think you'll be able to do that?
Next week.
Next week? Perfect. Perfect. Well, I'll send you some follow-up information with where you can actually, so like the next 2 steps would be to fill out an application on our website and then make the payment. So I can follow up with that information. Let me take a look here at the calendar. So you said mornings work best for you. What time of day, like what would be your ideal schedule?
What time do you normally have the groups?
So you can still see the website here?
Yeah.
So this is like our current class schedule. I mean, we offer classes all day, every day. So like you tell me what works best for you and we'll try our best to kind of make that happen.
You know that I'm saying you got Sunday classes from 4 to 5. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, so that's actually that's like dedicated for a practice right now. So
okay.
we could do a Sunday class for you if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that would be great.
What time works best for you?
On Sunday, the mornings.
So do you want to do like maybe 10:30 to 12?
Yeah, 10:30 to 12 would be great.
Perfect. Nice. All right, I'll send you over the information, next steps to do. And then, yeah, well, I'll just touch base with you in a few days to see how everything's going, okay?
Yeah, that's great for me.
Nice. All right, Ricky, I look forward to working with you.
All right, David, thank you.
All right, ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.